Hey, and welcome back to the Whiskey Outpost. Still recording from the Whiskey Couch in the Whiskey Family Room. But hey, at least the Whiskey Outpost, we believe in comfortable seating, right? I mean, that's got to count for something. So hopefully you are back after watching day one of New Year, New Pour, where we talked about Wild Turkey 101. And today we're going to continue on in this series in which I drink one new to me pour every day in the month of January. Because it's a new year, it's time to drink something brand new. Now, yesterday we talked about how everything I drank, you should be able to find somewhere on the shelves where you live. And I realized I lied, but what are you going to do? Because today, what I've chosen to do is drink a store pick Maker's Mark. We talked about yesterday how Maker's Mark was my first introduction to American whiskeys. So I wanted to make sure we covered it. Uh, and quite frankly, I've got this really nice bottle of Maker's Mark Private Selection, but it comes from a store called Missy's, which is right down the street from me here in Kansas City. And you may not be able to find it, but you're going to be able to find something close. Because essentially, what Maker's Mark has done is allowed stores like Missy's to come in and choose a stave profile. So essentially, pieces of wood that go into the barrel get aged with the barrel, and then they come up with something that's unique to the store. So while you might not be able to get Missy's, what I do strongly recommend is that you go to your local store and ask them for the stave profile that they've created. So, kind of cheating, kind of not, but sorry. Uh, and really, what the staves is, and I'll show you the bottle here, if you can see. And I'm not in any way affiliated with Missy's. I just like to go there because they're great people and they've got a good selection. This is 109.1 proof, so it's going to be there's going to be a little blast in the mouth. But there's looks like five different staves that you can choose from: Baked American Pure, Seared French Cuvée, Maker's Mark 46, which is another really good bourbon, which I've got on the shelf, which we might still cover this month. Roasted French, I'm not even going to try that, Mendant, and Toasted French Spice. Um, so, what Missy's chose to do was four Maker's Mark 46, which should give it kind of a chocolatey, malty kind of feel. Uh, four roasted French Mendiant. Yep, I'm gonna just butcher that. Four of those, and then two baked American Pure, which I believe is a white oak. Is kind of what they were explaining. The barrel and the wood that was used is actually on display at Missy's, so I thought that was kind of neat. Um, but yeah, the kind of tagline for this is bourbon crumble. So I'm expecting something kind of caramely, kind of sweet, and yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how this goes. So if this is your first one of these New Year New Pours, I just want to let you know that I have one neat pour and I have one on the rocks pour because I like to drink my whiskey on the rocks. Yeah, I think every time I say that, I just kind of I hear everyone just like clicking hang up, and I don't like it. But that's how I like to drink my whiskey. It's how I like to drink my bourbons, and I think everyone should drink the way they want to because life is too short to drink things you don't like. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start off with the nose and mouthfeel of the neat pour, and then we'll move to the rocks pour and see does it make a difference between the two. If you go back and you look at yesterday's New Year New Pour, we did see a big difference between the Wild Turkey 101 on the rocks versus neat, though I have a feeling a lot of that was due to ice melt as opposed to temperature. But I mean that's what you get if you get something on the rocks and it's a turn anyway. So let's give it a shot. So we're going to start with the nose on the Maker's Mark. I drink enough Maker's Mark that I can tell that there's a subtle difference in here, and it's softer. That's the only word I can come up with. When I drink Maker's Mark, I mean, it's definitely very flavor forward. There are very malty notes. There's, I think, almost a chocolate caramel flavor. This feels more like a brulee. Like it's got more of a vanilla flavor to it, smell to it. Excuse me. And that absolutely carries through in the taste, but not nearly as much as I would have thought. I actually get a lot more oak, a lot more wood than I was expecting. I mean, Maker's Mark to me is it's very sweet. I mean, pure candy is kind of the word I would use to describe it. I know that's not. I mean, it's kind of sweet. It's kind of got that chocolatey flavor to it. This is feels more mature. It feels more. Yeah, it feels more complex. But it's kind of like I said, it's got that Maker's Mark flavor, so it's still got that malt, still got the caramel, still got the vanilla, but it's got a deeper, like I said, oaky profile than really what I would expect from your standard Maker's Mark profile. Which again, please don't hear that I've got any objections to drinking Maker's Mark as it stands. I love that stuff. Some of the bottle kills I've done with that were more legendary than they should have been, but that's a different story for another time. So let's move on to the rocks glass, shall we? Oh. And again, I don't know if it's the glass or the ice, but a lot of the nose is mostly gone, and this didn't sit in this glass for very long before I started smelling it. But a lot of those notes are pretty much gone from what I was expecting from here. Yeah, there's not a lot of odor, and I'm really hoping that that's because this is a whiskey glass and doesn't have the nice shape to trap some of those odor components. But what I can tell you from tasting is, once again, the thing that the rocks seems to do, and something I'm gonna have to think about because it clearly kind of informs the what I like to drink. I should probably take that in consideration when I buy things. Um, Putting this on the rocks and that little bit of water kills a lot of the proof burn that I was getting from the 109 proof when I tried it neat. There's almost no uh, dilution of the flavors. The flavors move more to the back of my throat, so it becomes more of an aftertaste. But if I wasn't sitting here actively trying to study and tell you what the flavors were, if I was drinking this on the rocks, the only difference I could really tell between these two is that your neat still has a lot of the proof, the rocks has a lot less. And I guess this is day two, but I'm expecting to experience that through every day and every time we add more ice to a glass. So really, that's our Maker's Mark private selection. You should be able to find these as a store pick or on the shelves at your local stores. If not, come to Kansas City. We'll buy a bottle of this and we'll go get some barbecue or something like that. Believe me, there's plenty of that around. But yeah, thanks for stopping in the Outpost, and I will see you tomorrow with another New Year, New Pour. Thanks.